Well, welcome everyone to another CEO update. Well, the months have really flown past, and I do hope that you've read up on the latest Chronicle magazine, which came out in March. And obviously that came out since we last touched base. But I'm really keen that you read that because it has a lot of things that have been happening here at ALGA. And upcoming, of course, is member news with brimming full of information and ideas because you are our priority members. It's sort of fitting that it's my first year anniversary this week, actually. And we're hoping that in ALGA, we've got a lot to celebrate with you over this first year of mine. And one of the things that's happened is we've had our highest number of members yet in April, of any April, in fact, in the history of this time. So we're pleased that we've got more than 200 members from April last year, and I'm hoping that that will continue. The other great news is that we've added a senior position to the organisation now. I think I mentioned this last time. So we have our new Director of Marketing and Membership, and you'll meet her in the magazine, actually, if you scroll down. There's a little interview with her, Liesl Shaw, and she's adding a new key role into the organisation, which we have needed. And, of course, a lot of you will get to know her anyway, running the Eco Forum this year. She has that task, and she's going to be rolling out Eco Forum with a twist in 2021, but more on that later. Now, we have had a huge success in terms of rolling out the Member Max product. So 62% of all our members are now on Member Max, which means that I wanted to remind you that all Member Max members have webinar entitlements. So you do want to use those webinars. You do have 6 in the year to use, and I want to encourage you to visit our website, go to the website link, which is called Webinars, and every week all the new webinars get promoted as well, but they are also put up there. I mentioned last time that we were working on our internal systems in ALGA, so the board had approved significant new investment in our customer and marketing system. Now, we've been working hard to roll that out. That's still underway and in development, but of course I'll be communicating with you what is going to happen there in the future as it rolls out. And I must say I am aware, and I've had feedback, that you've been very patient with us over this period. I know some of you feel that you probably hear a little bit too frequently from us, and that's partly because we don't really have the right system to manage all our communications yet. But we are going to look forward to working with you and making sure that we are a bit more targeted in our communication, and having the right tools will really help us with that. I do want to say too, up front, our hardworking committing volunteers have been leading the ALGA agenda for our association. So our branches and specialist interest groups have developed and implemented some amazing new creativity. I'll be honest and say now I can't really go through everything that's going on. There's just way too much to mention. So please don't be offended if I don't mention your network. But suffice to say, there's quite a few innovations happening where the groups are, for example, working together. We have work underway with the SURF interest group, the Sustainable Remediation Group, and our regional branch network, who are building together a terrific in-person event, which will be held actually in the regional New South Wales, and that will be focused on bioremediation. So watch that space. We're working on that now. Our auditors group has successfully submitted that submission into the Automatic Mutual Recognition Regulation scheme. Now that regulation has come to life in legislation now, and our group helped provide professional input into that, and we're hoping that will help alignment nationally on that function. The local government group has kicked off fast and they're underway, and a survey design is in play. We will be rolling out a survey to councils across Australia and New Zealand about what they're expecting from this sector for those professional groups. And we've also had the methamphetamine interest group work quite hard on a really cool new communication newsletter. And below there is a link to that, so we'd encourage you to read that. And I wanted to say to the other groups, we've now got a template design. So we're very happy now to have that template newsletter roll out, and hopefully that will enable all the special interest groups to roll out that template available for their communications. So we want to thank everyone for their work, and we also want to thank the methamphetamine group for being a bit of a guinea pig on that one. And I look forward, obviously, to working forward with them all. Now, professional development is going really well. We've had some of our most successful one-day events. You would have seen PFAS Management into the Future, That event had over 250 attendees and many in person as well in 3 locations. And I wanted to say the team brought that together well. It was a huge development for us to run a hybrid event where we had 3 live locations as well as online. And really, my amazing team has worked hard with the committee, the speakers, and the program, and that really came together well. That PFAS event is firmly back with our ALGA now annually. We will have it every year. I was aware last year there was a private event company who ran something new, but now we have taken over that back with ALGA. So upcoming, we're looking at a similar format for our new firefighting foam one-day symposium. This is in planning at the moment. We're going to run that live in Brisbane, and I'm hoping to pop up to Brisbane and meet everybody up there. And we're hoping to support a more holistic discussion about these regulatory changes and changes in the industry. There's a lot of transition going on. It's impacting a lot of sectors, very important sectors for the Australian economy. And there is a reality to that transition, especially as assets are being changed out. So I'm looking forward, obviously, to coming up to Brisbane, meeting many people and the speakers, but also hoping that you'll join us online. Now, I want to thank the New Zealand members for having me visit in New Zealand. I went on my little tiki tour, and obviously we had both the regulator forum for one day and then a 2-day New Zealand Land and Groundwater Conference, which really kept us all informed about what's happening over there, and there seems to be a lot going on. Now, I posted a lot of things on LinkedIn, giving you a few photos to look at, and there was many photo opportunities, so I want to thank the members for being part of that process. And of course, it was lovely to see my staff also for the first time, both Selena and Annie. I guess I established in New Zealand in that trip that there is some way to go in ensuring that there's quality policy support with government. We had really great conversations, and that is now a priority, both I know for government and for us. They can see that ALGA is very serious about this. And I also picked up from members that they really value the connection with Australia as well. There was a high degree of engagement from the branches, and I believe that leveraging the support across the Tasman is really key, both for New Zealand going through quite a change time and also for Australia. One of the key things, though, that came up consistently, really with all the stakeholders I met, was the fact that we need to engage more younger people. So one of the things I want to do is explore that idea. Now, of course, the New Zealand conference was the key development with the closed regulator forum. I obviously met quite a few of you in that process, and I was really pleased to hear your experiences, your compliments, as well as your feedback. It was nice to meet everyone in person. Obviously, I traversed Christchurch, Wellington and Auckland, and I spent a wonderful day, my first day with Canterbury Regional Council in the beautiful Christchurch. It was really quite special to be able to walk through that city and see it in first hand. We hosted virtually the Regulator Forum, and we had a much wider group of participants this year, which was really exciting. Nearly about 30 or 35 regulators involved in local government, and I think we're really extending the reach now across traditional borders to get the public sector involved in that conference. It delivered really high quality presentations and discussions, and there was also very open and honest feedback. Obviously it was a closed session, but New Zealand is facing quite strong regulatory and legislative and structural reform. It could be quite significant for them, so it was nice for them to be able to start to reflect on those things together with the government. Now, one of the things we want to do is make sure that you get access to high quality training and information. We've obviously been keen to do that across the levels of government as well, to make sure that there is a two-way flow of communications. So that regulator forum is a very important one. And obviously one of the key things is to make sure that you've got support for your staff as that rolls out. One of the goals I have is to engage better with New Zealand. I met with the Ministry for the Environment, the EIANZ, local government professionals, Taitara, WorkSafe, Wasteman's, Environment Canterbury's chief scientist as well, which was amazing, and New Zealand EPA. So we discussed at length strengthening and building those relationships, seeing where we can work better together, and Annie, Tims and I will be working hard on that process across the Tasman, as well as for Australia, of course. One of the things that I am thinking about is doing a similar tour in Australia But perhaps it might be more of a walkabout than a tiki tour. I don't know yet. We can come up with some ideas to explain where we're going, but it might be a bit longer, of course. Now, I know that many members are keen to hear about EcoForum 2021. And this year we're looking at planning something a little bit different. And we will have some amazing sponsorship opportunities. So do start to think about that for your organisations. One of the things we're doing is we're planning a whole week of experiential learning with a mixture of in-person workshops before the actual event. We will have site tours after the event. And EcoForum itself will be preceded now by one new day. It'll be a future inspirational day, and we're calling it EcoVision 2021. That is actually going to tackle the future of our industry. It'll be available only to EcoForum attendees as part of the program. It'll be focused on really building the innovation ecosystem of the future. I think if we look at everything right now, there's a lot that we don't know that we don't know. And in that space, I saw an opportunity for us to push forward a better understanding of perhaps the technological advances that are going to be really fundamental and will change our industry and our customers, how we do our work, particularly in the sector as well. And let's face it, I don't think we really have time at this point to get our heads around everything that's new. We know that in the Australian budget that was just launched by Scott Morrison the other day, he's actually investing in, for example, a National Artificial Intelligence Centre. Now, that centre is going to be established within CSIRO. There's really significant millions and millions of dollars of funding. In fact, over, I think, $1 billion is being committed on digital investment. And part of that package is going to support SMEs. So that's organisations like yours, where they've acknowledged that technology is moving so fast that we need to assist the business community get on top of that. We do know that high science and high technology actually go together. And I guess this is where I was thinking there might be a sweet spot for us to build an event dedicated on this for you. So we're looking at things like data analytics, security, technology solutions, things like AI and robotics, for example. But we know that those things in the future, if we don't get our head around those things, they are going to change fundamentally our sector and our sector's customers. And there are really big implications for the workforce. I don't think there's really enough conversation about that. And of course, the government can throw a lot of money at it. But at the end of the day, I guess it's industry's role, our association's role, to bring government and the professionals working together to understand this shift so we can adapt to it. Now, one of the things here is I'd like you to go to the link below and actually do the EcoForum survey. So we're asking you to give us your feeling about coming to that event in person. Now, there is going to be an online option, but we're programming EcoVision and EcoForum as an in-person experience. Obviously, the online part will be EcoForum only. Now, the organising committee is an opportunity for you all. I really want you to see if you want to volunteer, so please also go down in the newsletter and put your nomination in. Now, to close, I'd like to announce that we will have a very special announcement next time that we meet. We have another specialist interest group starting, and it's very exciting for us at ALGA at this point. So with that, I think that's enough of an update for now. I look forward to seeing you soon. It might be on the walkabout tour. It might be at EcoForum. It might be in the various many activities that we provide you. And I look forward to seeing you. My team does as well. And email me at ceo@landandgroundwater.com.